We look so beautiful today, don't we? Hey! Hey guys, sorry I couldn't be there to give my speech. I'm making this video instead. Now he's gotta make a few quick changes. There's one. That's pretty good. And how about this? Nice. Alright, enjoy. December 8th, 1958, Dwight D. Eisenhower gave a momentous speech in front of the United Nations to usher in a new age, the age of atomic power. Dubbed Atoms for Peace, this speech became known for its calling of nations together and proposal of a new unified world that promotes positive use of atomic energy. With the world still feeling the effects of World War II and the start of what is to be called the Cold War, Eisenhower is able to swoon his audience with talks of a new, peaceful world order and assert the U.S. as a protector and leader. 8 years before Eisenhower took the stage at the UN, the world had just closed its doors on one of the most horrific events in history. An event that took over 60 million lives. That event being World War II. The end of this brutal conflict came when America dropped a new type of weapon on Japan, the atom bomb. And so the atom bomb closed one chapter in history and opened another. The new chapter found nations in shambles, and the newly formed Soviet Union pitted against the rest of the world. In his speech, Eisenhower revealed that many countries had possessed atomic weapons, and that these weapons were far more dangerous than any weapons seen before. At that time, America's total atomic weaponry surpassed the amount of all the bombs and shells fired during World War II. Now this is where he says, to stop there would be to accept hope. He doesn't want this new invention to bring about destruction, but rather creation. Eisenhower proposes an acceptable solution to the atomic armaments race, which overshadows not only peace, but the very life of the world. This solution would be to strip its atomic power from its military casing and adapt it to the arts of peace. He goes on to suggest an international energy agency, where countries would put their atomic armaments together and apply them towards rebuilding infrastructure and promoting positive growth in other nations. Eisenhower proposes a future free from all the destruction that had taken place in the first half of the 20th century. These promises, however, wouldn't be much unless there was someone to guide the rest of the nations on this path. That's how Eisenhower portrayed the U.S. as a leader, the one who would stand up to the Soviet Union and gain favor from other countries. He backs up his claim early on by stating, such an atomic attack would be launched against the United States. Our reactions would be swift and resolute. Now Eisenhower also brings up how the U.S. were the first ones to use the atomic bomb. Eisenhower is humble in his claims too. He mentions that the original atom bomb couldn't have been dropped without the help from his friends and allies in neighboring countries. Eisenhower is initiating this great global transformation, and he does a great job of pulling together other nations to aid in this process. He even says that the Soviet Union will have to join for this plan to be effective. It can't happen if there's someone still opposing. Throughout the speech, Eisenhower promotes the U.S. as a leader without putting himself over another nation. Dwight D. Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace speech stands as a powerful and important speech in history. It was given at a time when the world was undergoing extreme changes. It was at a time that was still feeling the effects of World War II, and as that era ended, a new one had begun, the era of atomic power. In his speech, Eisenhower depicted a world where this new power source could be used for good, so that all nations could come together and prosper. He was able to do this because of the audience he was speaking to, and by proposing America be the sworn protector and initiator in this plan. Looking back now, it's easy to see that Eisenhower's speech has been a motivator for much of the progress made through the rest of the 20th century.